Hey. Hey, y'all, hey. It's your girl, Naysa Nicole, coming to you live from the car. I don't know if you'll ever see this video. I don't know if I'll ever post it. But if I do, that's my opening. It's your girl, Naysa Nicole, coming to you live from the car, okay? So I'm out here at the cemetery visiting my dad. And I'm reflecting. And I feel like I have given 35 years of my life away. I was out here eating. I feel like I've given 35 years of my life away. Grief, it teaches you things. Life and death, it teaches you things. Any kind of loss teaches you things. Everyone grieves differently. If I ever do post this video, I can't expect you to feel how I feel. But what I encourage you to do is give me some grace and just listen. That's it. Get a different perspective. So this year I turned 35. I've had my own business, brick and mortar business, for over 4.5 years, going on 5. But I've been a business owner for close to 10, if not 10. And it's weird because I'm finally at a point where I feel like I have given 35 years of my life to people, places, and things that did not serve me. They didn't serve my greater good. They didn't serve my highest self. And it's not all bad. It's not all bad. But I'm human. And I've realized that a lot of times, being in our flesh, the good will outweigh the bad. But I'm at the point now where if it don't feel good, if it doesn't serve me in a positive way, I'm not coming. I'm not going to be around it. I won't accept it. I refuse to give another second to the toxic negativity, small-minded people, places, and things. Okay? That's where I'm at. So, what does that look like for me? In the beginning, it's going to be lonely. It's going to be sad. Because I'm going to have to cut everything that was familiar to me away. So, hindsight, 2020 or whatever. Excuse me. sorry, it's going to be like I'm grieving people who are still on this earth, if that makes sense. And I feel like that's harder than grieving people who aren't. Because when they're not here, you've got your last memories and you've accepted them for who they were. When you still see them, it's a 50-50 because you know who they are, but you know that they have the potential or could have changed. So that's when you want to give another chance. I will not go back to the things that hurt me. As much as it hurts me not to go back. Choose your heart. And that's what I'm realizing. I have allowed people to manipulate me, to abuse me physically and emotionally, verbally, emotional, mental, take advantage. I've allowed it. So you can't, I can't. Be on me. Give me grace. Let me inspire you. Let me tell you what I'm going through so that way, hopefully you can get a little bit of understanding and push through your own situation. Because if you find this video, if I post it, that means it was meant for you. It's something that I'm going to say that's going to register with you. Okay? So the first step for me is I had to go in isolation mode. Isolation mode. Dig deep within me. I don't want to be the victim. I don't want to be nobody's victim. I don't want to be the villain. I want to be the superhero. Okay? But first, I had to go within myself and take accountability of why I let people do the things that they did to me. Why did you allow them to do it? Knowingly? In the beginning, it's unknowingly because you put your faith and you put your trust. People will be people, right? And you lead in love until a person, place, or thing, because it's just not people, makes you feel otherwise. Why'd you allow it? No matter who it is. Family is hard because you feel like, well, they're my family. They want the best for me. Friends you can choose, but you got the ones that you grew up with. Excuse me. The ones you grew up with, but you still want to keep, because y'all grew up together, you feel like y'all should still be tight, if that makes sense. Because it's comfort. It's familiar. Your mate, your spouse, the first time you cut up, you act a nut, you let them back, they do it again. You cut up again, you let them back, they do it again. It's the cycles. I'm tired of the same cycle. I'm tired of new year, new me. 90 days later, I don't know who I am. And 90 days after that, the sun is shining, I feel good, it's amazing. 90 days after that, I'm broke. 90 days after that, we balling, it's the holiday. 90 days after that, a new year, new me. It's the same thing. So I had to realize why. You have to get to the root. Until you get to the root everything that you see is going to still be the same because you haven't gotten to the root to look at it differently. If that I'm trying to make sense. I hope I'm making sense. Like I said, if this video is for you, you will know. I don't know what you're going through. I feel like I'm recording this for my own validation, but I know that I'm supposed to be encouraging other people. So I don't know if I'm going to post it. But if I do, you're welcome. Got you. But the cycles, the generational curses over our lives. We live in like our grandparents, like our parents, the great-grands. We live in like they live. We eat like they eat. We die from the same diseases that they die from. We don't get out of some of us live in the same 5-block radius, 5-mile radius of our loved ones, right? And I'm not dogging it. I'm not downing it. It's just something that I don't want. I'm not saying that my family is horrible. I'm not saying that I had a shitty childhood, a shitty life. I'm not saying that. I'm saying I've recognized things that I do not like as an adult. And I had to realize within me, number one, you're grown. So whatever happens to you, it's a fine line. So don't argue with me in the comments. Just listen. I ask for grace. But it's a fine line of what we will accept and what we won't accept. Okay? There's a fine line of people doing stuff or situations happening to you, but how are you allowing them to affect you? So I'm taking the scripture just once that I know of. I'm just flowing. And it says, no weapon formed against me shall prosper, right? He never said that they wouldn't form. Okay? So our job is to ask for the strength and the guidance to get through it when the tests hit. Okay? A lot of people look at me like, how are you so strong? How are you doing this? How are you doing that? And for me, because of a lot of things that I've been through in my life, it's like I feel like I don't have a choice. I have to be strong because I'm blazing this trail that for majority of the people that I'm familiar with is unknown. Okay? So it's going to hit me first. I'm going to go through it first, and then I should be able to reach back and grab somebody else and pull them with me, or pull them up, or encourage them and to tell them to keep going, or post a video like this and give some insight and give somebody some hope that, baby, I know it's been hard, but it's all worth it in the end. Okay? A few years ago, I think it was two or 3 years ago, I made shirts and it says worth the wait. And I'm finally realizing what that truly meant. I didn't know what it meant. It was just a download I got on an airplane. Going to Vegas. Well, I think it was coming home from Vegas. I got it. And because when we were in Vegas, I got a glimpse of the life that I wanted for me, between me and my husband. And now that it's here and it's happening, it's like, whoa, like, I've been praying for this, but now that I got it, you got to give me grace to be able to handle it, because I don't want to mess it up. I don't want to say the wrong thing. I don't want to do the wrong thing. I want to be in right standing so I can continue to receive my blessing. But I have to let go of the fear, because I'm fearful that I'm going to mess it up and God is going to take my blessings away. It's like when you're used to fighting and fighting and fighting, and then good things start happening to you. It's like it feels too good to be true. And it's like I'm just waiting on it to fall. And I got to retrain my mind that I've given you life. I don't know the scripture. I want you to have life and have it abundantly, or something like that. Okay? But my favorite one is trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him and he will direct your path. No matter what it's looking like, no matter what it feels like, you have to keep going. Time does not wait for nobody. Nobody. We don't know when we are going to be born. We don't know when we are going to leave this earth. Enjoy it while you got it. Life, I'm talking about. Enjoy it. But it's hard when you have the trauma. It's hard when everybody, strangers love you. You beautiful. You got a good heart. But the ones that you want to see that about you make you feel like you're the opposite. That's trauma. Have you going around walking with your head down? Your confidence, your self-love, everything is beneath you. That's just what it is. It's low. And you've allowed them to do that to you because it was normal. Because it was coming from familiar people. From familiar, how you say it? Familiarity, or however you say it. It was familiar. And you've allowed it. And then you find other people with those same traits, even though that's not what you want. I don't want nobody talking down to me. I don't want nobody hating or feeling or jealous or envious. I don't want nobody like that. But those are the people you attract because you're attracting what's familiar to you. Excuse me. It's crazy. Okay. So we break the cycle. So yes, you go go deep within. Figure out why. Why did I allow this? What makes me feel less than? How come I'm not good enough? No matter, 20 people can come up on you on the street and say, you're beautiful. But if you don't believe it, if you don't look at yourself in the mirror and believe that, in your mind, is not true. So you have to retrain your brain, retrain your mindset, trick yourself, literally. They were tricking you. Trick or treat. They've been tricking you, so why wouldn't you trick yourself for the positive things? And eventually, you'll start believing it. So that's when the affirmations come. That's when the speaking life over yourself. That's when accepting accountability. Okay? We get there. We doing that. We saving ourselves. So it goes from isolation to speaking life. Then in the midst of you speaking life, you've isolated. In the midst of all that, you're saving yourself, right? You're doing little small things to cut out the pattern. We got company. All right? You do all that. And then it's time to flourish. Okay? So I've been on the third level. And then you go from flourishing, and then you're rich. Now, when I say rich, a lot of people think that it's a financial thing. Don't let it go over your head, baby. I'm deeper than that. I'm not talking about finances, even though that's part of it. But you got to be rich in your mind, rich in your body, your soul. Sorry, guys. People over here grieving. I don't want to talk too loud.